I'm always going to say that using a marked deck in your magic routines is possibly the best thing you could ever do for yourself. There are so many benefits of using a marked deck in your routines. Even if you don't do any tricks with the marked deck, it's always sort of a fail-safe or a safety net in case something might go wrong in your act. Not to mention, using a marked deck is an automatic peek of a card. So if somebody picks a card and they say, hey, can I shuffle them? And you're like, oh crap, what do I do? At least you know what the card is because you looked at it with the mark. But that's not why we're here today. We're here today because I'm going to teach you one of the strongest tricks you can do with a marked deck. Let's get into it. Real quick before we jump into this video, guys, I just uploaded a new video on my new channel, and so if you guys would do me the hugest favor and go over there, comment, like, subscribe, all the things that you do for this channel, would be truly appreciated, and yeah, it's gonna be a good thing, and I love this new channel that we're doing over there. Alright guys, so I will show you what this trick looks like, and after I do that, I'll teach you exactly how I did it, okay? So, let's imagine for a moment that we have two people here, okay? So, volunteer 1 and volunteer 2 here, okay? So, let's just call them 1 and 2 for the sake of this video. Alright, so, Mr. 1, would you please shuffle these cards, alright? So, person 1 shuffles cards up as much as they want to, and they put them down and say, in a minute, I'm going to have you do something for me, okay? So, but before you do that, I'm going to write something down that might be important for you later, okay? So, maybe I'll go with this today. Let's see, maybe I'll go with this today. That might be important for later. Maybe not, but we'll see. Alright, so, do me a favor, pick up those cards and start dealing cards face down into a little pile, if you would. Alright, I'll put this right inside my card box, right here, for safekeeping, okay? So deal cards face down until you want to stop, okay? So when you do stop, put the card that you stopped on to the side, okay? So that could either be this one or this one. It's up to you. Let's say they go for this one right here, okay? So they put that card there. Now, person number 2, would you please shuffle these cards again, okay? So they do that just like this. You can just put them there like he did, okay? So in a minute, you're going to do something for me too, but before you do that, I'm going to write something that might be important for you as well, okay? So maybe we'll go for a different one for you. Maybe I'll go for this one right here. Maybe that looks good. All right, so what I want you to do, sir, if you would, is pick up those cards and just give them a cut. All right, just cut the cards, but in a kind of a different way. Put some to the table and just put them at a crooked angle, if you would. That's perfect. All right, so both of you guys have been amazing. Thank you for volunteering for this little demonstration. Now, think about this, guys. Both of you shuffle the cards. You just stopped dealing whenever you wanted to. There was no way anybody could have known where you would have stopped. And there's no way anybody would have known after you shuffle the cards where you would cut the cards. I had no control over that whatsoever. That was all you guys. But remember, I wrote 2 pieces of information down that I said may or may not be important for later. All right, so for the first time, let's take a look at what I wrote down for you guys, okay? So nothing else inside the box, no trickery, all right? So you get that one, number 2, you get that one, number 1, all right? So let's take a look at your card first. What do you have here? The 6 of Hearts, but that could have been any card, really. Wouldn't it be incredible if somehow, number 1, I knew exactly which card you'd stop on before you even stopped on it? Because I wrote down that very card. The 6 of Hearts. I know, it's pretty crazy. Now look, you could have cut anywhere. We'll put that card there. You could have cut to the Queen of Clubs. You could have cut the 6 of Clubs. Any card all Jack of Clubs. Or not all clubs, I promise. Any card at all is possible. Wouldn't it be incredible if somehow I knew which card you would cut to? Let's take a look. The 3 of Diamonds. Remember, I wrote this down before we even shuffled, before we even cut them. If I had any psychic abilities, I think today is really the day. Alright, so not a bad piece of magic, okay? So a lot of mileage out of using just a marked deck. Okay, so what happens here is called the one-ahead principle. And using a marked deck, you're way ahead. I mean, you're miles. It's like a 500 ahead principle if you think about it using a marked deck. Okay, so what's going to happen here is this. You want to have 2 volunteers, and you want to have 2 pieces of paper. All right, so I just tend to use, index cards and just rip them in half when I'm on the go, okay? So just take an index card, fold it in half, and just rip it right in half, okay? So now you have your 2 pieces of paper, and you're ready to go. You also want a Sharpie and the card box handy, ready to go, okay? So what's going to happen here is you have 2 volunteers, okay? So 1 and 2. But don't call them 1 and 2. I just did that for the video. But you want to do make sure this person is always first, okay? So in your head, this person is going to be number 1, all right? So what's going to happen is you have this person number 1 shuffle the cards up, okay? So now you ask them to put them down. And you say, here in a moment, I'm going to have you do something, but before you do that, and you want to emphasize it, okay? So, because later they'll remember that you did these writings before they did their tasks, okay? So say, but before you do that, I'm going to write something down that might be important for later. And the reason why I say that line is it might be important for later is because I don't want to call it a prediction. So if I did that, they'll sort of predict what's going to happen. So you want to avoid using words like make a prediction. You don't want to seem like you know what's going to happen beforehand. You simply say, I'm going to write something down that might be important. And that could be anything. And you don't know what you're going to write down. And don't say you're going to write down a card either. Just say you're going to write something down that might be important. And what you write down here is just the top card. And you know it because of the marking. In this case, the 9 of spades. All right, so you never touch the cards. After they put them down, you just glance at the top card and read the marking. And that's exactly what you write down in this case. In this case, the 9 of spades. So you just go boom, write the number, and then the symbol for spades, just like this. Okay, the 9 of spades. Now you fold it up, and as you're folding this up, you say to them, pick the cards up and start dealing cards face down. And when you fold this up, you want to put a number 2 on this little piece of paper, okay? So you write down the number 2, all right? So that's called the 1 ahead principle. You're not writing 1 for 1, you're writing 2 for 2, okay? So this number 2 card, this 9 of spades is actually going to be their card, okay? So you want to write number 2 on this card the first time, okay? So it's kind of backwards. So you just write that little number 2 on this card there like this, okay? So then a little number 2, put that aside the card box, okay? So that way nobody can cheat, everything is above board. So now this person starts dealing their cards face down. They can stop whenever they want to. It makes no difference what the card they stop on, okay? It's not a force. It's a free choice, okay? So they stop maybe right here. And you say to them, look, you can have that card or that card is up to you. Either one is fine, okay? So you say, like, you stop on a card, and whenever you want to stop, put the card aside, okay? So maybe they go for this one right here. We'll just go for this one, okay? So they put that right there and ask them to cover their hand on it. But before they do that, you want to read the back of the marking. In this case, we know it's the 5 of hearts. So remember that 5 of hearts. Now you just simply give these to this person and have them shuffle the cards up, okay? So now as they're shuffling and they put it down, you say, look, in a minute, I'm going to have you do something for me as well. But before you do that, I'm going to write something down that might be important for later for you. And you want to ask them to, after they shuffle, to put them on top of these cards here, okay? So, and that'll be important for a moment. Yeah, just put those down on top of those cards there. Perfect. Now, you simply write this card, the card they stopped on, person number 1, on this other piece of paper. So in this case, the 5 of hearts, you write down here. All right, so I'm going to write something for you that might be important for later. So you just write down 5 of hearts, boom, 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 just like this, the 5 of hearts. Fold it up and say, do me a favor, pick up the cards and just cut about half to the table. And when you're saying this, you write down the number 1 on this card, right? So you just remember in your head, 5 of hearts is number 1 right there. So that's how you remember it, okay? In case you get confused mid-performance, because sometimes that'll happen, all right? So number 1 for this guy right here. Number 1, how cute is that? So drop that inside of there. Now, close that up, cap the pen, and say, do me a favor, pick those cards up and cut about half to the table here. Perfect. Now complete the cut, but at a crooked angle, kind of like that's perfect. And this is the cross-cut force, okay? So the great thing about this cross-cut force is there's so much time restriction and time delay that makes this cross-cut perfect for this routine. Okay, so now you just want to recap, and you say, look, you know, you shuffle the cards up, you dealt cards, you stopped whenever you wanted to. There's no way I could have known anything about that. I had no control. I didn't even touch the cards. But remember, I wrote 2 things down. I said it might be important for later. I'll just take them out. Now here, you don't have to do any kind of switches. Normally, those will be on the table or in your hand, and you have to do some kind of like sneaky switch to switch them out. That kind of looks awkward. But just putting them inside the box like this and dumping them out, you know, eliminates that thing. So, and using the box, it makes it more, I don't know, fair in a way. So, anyway, what you want to do is put the number 1 card over to here. Okay, so say, look, turn your card over. What card did you get, by the way? They'll turn over, and it's the 5 of hearts. There's no way I could have known that. But maybe, if I was lucky, or if I am in tune with my psychic abilities today, maybe there are some chance that I could know that. Look, that's the 5 of hearts, guys. That's unbelievable. Maybe we can get 2 for 2. What card did you get? We'll just take a look. We'll put that there. But you could have cut to the 10. You could have cut to the 6. That's any card at all. You could have cut after you shuffle the cards. This is crazy. What card did you get? The 9 of spades. That's number 2. That's for you. You take a look at that. You open that up and you take a look. And then they open it, and to their surprise, it is indeed the 9 of spades. Don't overlook writing the numbers on the back of the card, because they'll know in their head that, yeah, this one's for you and this one's for you. And I knew that beforehand. If you didn't do that, if they were just blank pieces of paper with no numbers on it, you know, maybe they could know a trickery is going on. But the main thing you want to do is don't show them, hey, look, you want to do it in a secret, okay? So don't let them see what number you're writing when you're doing that, okay? So then you'll be good to go. Alright guys, so as always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch this video. It truly does mean the world to me. And so if you learned something new and if you got value from this video, do me a huge favor and hit that like button and sub to the channel. Until next time, happy practicing. I love you guys.